Jesus says to the crowds in today's gospel that no one can come to me unless the Father draws him to me. And if we have a Father in heaven, we must necessarily have children, shouldn't we? A father loves his children and he cherishes his children. And so the Father wants to have children according to his heart. So he calls us to be his children. He calls us to be like little children so that we will be drawn to Jesus. And little children look up at the world. They look at the world and they see it with a sense of wonder and anticipation and a sense of thankfulness and gratitude. The people who grow old sometimes look down on the world. They look down on the world and they are critical sometimes or negative or judgmental. But the child, he looks around the world with that sense of wonder and sense of anticipation of what could be or will be. And we know that Jesus says what? He says, unless you become like a small child, you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. And those who become like this small child are the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And who is the perfect child of the Father? It is Jesus. It is Jesus, the one who always did the will of his Father and always pleased the Father in all that he did. So as we become more and more children of the Father, we become more like Jesus. And as Jesus perfectly knows his Father and sees his Father, as we become more like children who love Jesus, we understand the Father better as well. And we know more about who he is. And Jesus gives us the bread of life, which is his very own body and blood, soul and divinity, the Eucharist. He gives us that to nourish us and strengthen us so that we can become strong in God, strong as children of God. And when we're strong in God, we don't really need to show off. We don't really need to perform before others or seek their attention or seek their satisfaction, but we have confidence in God, and so we can be weak and vulnerable. We can show our soft side, and we don't need to defend us because we know that we are strong in God. And so, ironically, that even helps us become more like children because we receive Jesus in the Eucharist, and he gives us that strength so we can lay down our arms, lay down our defense shields, and just be the simple people that we're called to be that small child that's within us, and to be as that child, and that child grows in the love of Jesus and the love of the Father, and he becomes more like Jesus, and he loves the Father, and he is the glory of the Father. So we're all called to become, yes, children of the Father, and we're called to become those who love the Father as small children and have confidence in a Father who loves us, who is in heaven.